Hello student, today we are going to discuss about the first chapter, nature and purpose of business. In this chapter we have already discussed in the last chapter economic activities and non-economic activities, characteristics and objective of the business. There are two types of objective. One is economic objective and one is social objective. Economic objective means any business main motive is to earn profit. For the survival in the long run they have to earn profit and all. And social objective means they are providing quality goods at fair prices and rendering social services to the employees, doing economic welfare to the employees. These all are related with the social objective of business. Now today, before discussing about the differentiation and types of activities, business activities, let us discuss about the business definition. Business is an economic activity which is concerned with the production and sale of goods and services on a regular basis ended by the society with the aim of earning profit. It means that whenever any business is formed or it is opened, its main aim is to earn profit together with the society needs and all. Okay. Now today next point is business activities. Business activities is can be divided into two types. One is industry and another one is commerce. Let us first discuss about the industry. Industry means it refers to the production of finished goods from raw material and used to provide for further production. There are three types of industry are there: primary industry, secondary industry and tertiary industry. Let us discuss one by one. First, primary industry. Primary industry is that type of industry where those activities with the use of nature resources are produced. For example, it can be of two types: extractive industry and genetic industry. Extractive industry means extracting something from the natural resources, from earth, that is coal, iron, gas, etc. Farming, mining, lumbering, hunting and fishing come under the category of extractive industry. Genetic industry are those industries which the breed of animals and vegetables are improved and made more useful. For example, poultry farms, dairy farming, fish, hatcheries, cattle, breeds, etc. Now, this is all about the primary industry. Now, let us go about the secondary industry. Secondary industry, under this industry, new products are manufactured with the help of using primary industry. Means whatever they have extracted or whatever they have produced, it is converted into raw material. Secondary industry can be of two types: manufacturing industries and construction industries. Manufacturing industry, these industries convert raw material or semi-finished raw material into finished goods. For example, paper from bamboos, sugar from sugar cane, and it can be further divided into four types, that is first analytical, synthetical, processing, assembling, etc. Now let us discuss about analytical industry. Analytical industry means what? Different things manufactured from the one material. For example, petrol, diesel, gasoline from crude oil. Then second one is processing industry. Let us discuss first about the processing industry. Processing industry are useful for manufacturing by making raw materials to pass through different production process. For example, steel from iron ore, sugar from sugar and pepper industries. Now let us go to the third one, that is synthetic industry. Synthetic industry is that type of industry which use mix to produce more useful product, like mixing two or more elements like paints, cosmetic, cements, these etc. are come under the scientific industry. Now last one, that is assembling industry. Now assembling industry is related with the production of computer parts are produced in different company, then they are assembled together to produce one. For example, car parts are manufactured in different tires are produced by different company, parts, nut bolts are produced by the different company, then they are assembled together to produce one car. Just like mobile, if I give example of mobile parts are also manufactured from different companies, then they are assembled together in one place to form a mobile. Now let us go to the commerce. Commerce means what? Commerce is that it refers those activity which remove the hindrances or problem relating to the industry. For example, it can be related to the primary industry also, scientific industry also, secondary industry also, tertiary industry also, or any type of manufacturing, construction, any type of industry. It can be divided into two types. One is trade and one is auxiliaries to trade. Under the trade, there are two types. One is internal trade and one is external trade. Under internal trade, there is wholesale and retail. Under external trade, there are three types: import, export and intraport. Now, let us discuss one by one. Before discussing this one, let us discuss the meaning of commerce. Okay. Commerce refers to all those activities which are concerned with the transfer of goods and services from the production to the consumer. It embraces all the activities from the necessary for maintaining and free flow of goods and services. It means it removes hindrances or problem related to industries and all. Okay, now let us go to the characteristics of trade or function of trade. First function of trade is to remove the hindrances of person by making goods available to consumer from the producer through trade. Second one is transportation. Transportation helps us to remove the barrier of transporting one goods from one place to another. Next one is storage and warehousing activities. Remove the hindrances of time, facilities, holding of stock of goods to be sold and were sold whenever it required. Number 4, insurance remove the chances of risks which we can bear by traveling goods from one place to another. And last one, advertising. Advertising removes the hindrances of information. Suppose if you are willing to launch your product, that time some hindrances will come that new product is not published and no one know. Then advertising help us to know about the new product, their benefits, their advantage and all. Now let us go to the trade. Next point. Trade means it refers buying and selling of goods and services by informing consumer about the goods and services available in the market and with the object of earning profit. It can be of two types. One is internal trade. Internal trade means trade within the own country or within the same business. It can be of two types: wholesale trade and retail trade. Wholesale trade means that type of trade where goods are sold in bulk, means huge quantity or more number of quantities of goods are sold in that wholesale trade. Next one is retail trade. Retail trade where consumer can buy the goods easily from the retailers. For example, 1 unit, 2 unit, this unit, but which is not possible in wholesale trade. In wholesale trade, we have to buy goods in bulk quantity. Now let us go to the external trade. In external trade refers trade between two countries. Two countries, just like it can be of two types. One is import. Import means purchasing goods from the another country. And for example, we are purchasing goods from the America. That is called import of goods from another country. Then number two, it is called export. Export means sale of goods to other country, means whatever the resources and whatever the production, surplus production is there, it is sold to the another place, or we can sell to the another country. That is called export. Now third one is the entrepot, when goods are imported to export. Suppose I am purchasing a goods for not selling within my country but selling to the other country. That is called entrepot. For example, I can give example like India and Nepal. India and Bhutan. Where India is purchasing goods from another country and selling it to the neighboring states, neighboring countries, just like Nepal, Bhutan, etc. This type of activity trade is known as entrepot trade. Now let us go to the auxiliary to trade. That is the another type of commerce. Now let us discuss about auxiliaries to trade. Before starting auxiliary to trade, let us go to the definition. In all those activities which help in removing hindrances which arise in connection with the production and distribution of goods and services is called auxiliaries to trade. Auxiliary to trade, it removes hindrances of whatever the problem will face in the primary, secondary, tertiary or manufacturing or transporting goods from one place to another. These all will come under auxiliaries to trade. There are 5 types of auxiliaries to trade. First, transportation. Transportation help us to take place from one place to another, where as these are demanded in different part of the country. The obstacle of place is removed by transport. Along with the transport, communication is an important service where goods are transported from one place to another. Suppose I am purchasing goods in Calcutta, but my place of business is in Siliguri. Then goods cannot walk and come to the Siliguri. We have to take transportation. That will come under the auxiliaries to trade. Now, for example, another example, we can trade communication, telephone, phone, email, fax, internet. These also will come under transportation and communication. Now, let us go to the next point, that is warehousing. Warehousing means where goods are stored for a long period of time. Means sometime when we can say that India is producing huge bulk of rice and wheat. When surplus production is made, then that surplus product should be stored in one place. That problem will be solved by the warehousing. It is just like a godown where goods are kept for future use and all, whenever it is required. Now let us go to the next point, that is insurance. Now insurance provide coverage against the loss of goods in the process of storage, theft, fire and other natural resources. Sometimes whenever we are purchasing goods from another places, or sometime in our shop only, fire occur or theft became, or it lost due to fire, then this all type of risks is covered by the insurance by paying a little bit sort of amount and all. Now let us go to the fourth point, that is called banking. Banking help us, or banking and finance, it helps businessmen whenever they need funds for acquiring asset, purchasing of raw material and meeting their expenses. Necessary funds can be obtained from the bank, that is by taking a loan from the business or loan from the bank. Now last one is advertising. Advertising is simply meant for promotion of goods which is newly launched in the market or to be launched in future. Then proper planning to be done for the purpose of selling into the market. First we have to create the new customer for the new product. For that purpose we have to do advertisement through distribution of pamphlets, through media advertising, through newspaper, through hoardings and all. Then after that, while going through the advertisement, we are saying the benefit of the new product, their how to use, what are its benefits. These all things we are discussing about in advertisement for the promotion of the goods and their utility. Now we are going to discuss the next point, that is called business risks. Business risks. Whenever we are doing some business, risks is involved over there. Then the definition of business risks is that it refers to the possibility of inadequate profit and loss due to the uncertainties or unaccepted event. For example, whatever the product we are producing, the taste and preference of the customer can be changed, and number of production unit or number of the companies can be increased which are producing the same quality or same type of product and all. That's why the risk is there whenever we are doing the business. Business risks can be of two types. One is nature of business risks and next one is the causes of business risks. Let us discuss one by one. First, nature of business risks. First we are going to discuss about that. Number one point, risks arise due to the uncertainties. Uncertainties means there are due to lack of knowledge of what is going to happen in future, create uncertainties in balance. Means whatever I am thinking, it is not going in a good manner, or my knowledge for the future is not good. It means it may be due to the natural calamities, change in demand, change in prices, due to strikes, etc. Risks arise due to uncertainties. Now next point, risks is involved in every type and every part of business. Means whatever, whether you are doing small business or whether you are doing big business, risks is there in each and every part. No business can avoid risks through the amount of risks may vary from business to business. Risks can be minimized, cannot be eliminated. It means that risks is there, we can minimize the risks, but we cannot remove the risks, that it is a it is no risk zone type of business, it is not there. Now we are going to the third point, the degree of risks depend upon the nature and the size of business. It means that if your business size is small, then nature of risks is also small. If you are doing a big business, or you are doing the business of vegetable, essential commodity which cannot be used or which cannot be stored for future reference and all. Then now we are going to discuss the last point of nature of business risks is the profit. Profit is the reward of risk taking. Means if you don't take a risk, you will not get a profit. You have to take a risk, then only profit can acquired. Now let us go to the causes of the business risk. There are so many causes of business risks are there, but I have pointed out 4 types of causes. One is natural causes, second one is human causes, third one is economic causes, and fourth one is the other causes. Let us discuss one by one. First one is the natural causes. Human beings have little control over the natural, like flood, calamities, earthquake, famine, etc. They cannot bear. They cannot know that today earthquake will come or not. This results in heavy losses of life, property and income in business. Next one is human causes. Human causes means human error. Whenever we are doing the business, we are unaccept event like dishonesty, means someone I have employed but his working is inappropriate. He is not working in a careless nature or negligence of employees, strikes by the employees. These all are the causes of the human nature. Now third one is the economic causes. Economic causes is always related with the change in the market condition. Suppose fluctuation of demand, change in the prices of the goods, competition in the change in technology. These all come under the economic changes. Now last point, that one is other causes. Why I have written other causes? Because there are so many unforeseen events which can occur due to the political unrest, political disturbance, fluctuation in exchange rate. These all I have kept under the other causes. Other causes which include political unrest or disturbance. These mainly come under the causes, come under the other causes. Unforeseen events which can occur. This altogether we can say that business can be done but not without taking a risk. You have to take the risk, then only you can be a success or you can earn profit in the future. Thank you.